All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to September Fic Night for Fanfic Talk. You can find us over on fanfictalk.com, or you can join our archives at fanfictalk.com/archives. Tonight, we have the wonderful Black Ballet, Catherine, joining us as we read her fic, Strangest Thing, which is in the same universe as one of her other wonderful multi-chapter fics, but this is just a little one shot. So this fic is rated, where is it? M for mature audiences, and some advisories include substance abuse and violence. There are also content warnings for addiction, breakups, dying/grieving, and war. Skies rise and break with pink and orange illustrations. Waves fold into and out of one another. Wind shifts immovable pine to become spiraling flocks of needles in the air. The Ravenclaw common room is his least favorite place. Charlotte is gone. Sirius stands in the dungeons outside the potions classroom, his hands unknowing of where to be. He wants to keep running them through his hair, but he is still. He doesn't know where Charlotte went, but he knows she is gone. Gone, if not dead. Someone keeps talking about organizing a search party, and then Mary confirms it. Charlotte went home. But Sirius knows it's different. Charlotte didn't talk about that place as home. Mary is crying for so many days. Sirius tries not to hear her. He is called into Dumbledore's office, who says Charlotte left for home. Emma is baffled, and Emmeline is worried. Sirius is angry, and Remus is quiet. Mary already knows. Spring. She needed treatment for her neurological affliction. Sirius doesn't want to believe this, so he doesn't. But Madame Pomfrey is so certain and stoic that he just nods and leaves. His feet take him places he has been before without direction, but strictly avoid the places that he knows to be hers. Seconds pass where he doesn't think about her, and then she returns. It's because of a memory charm, and this he knows. He can picture the purse of lips about to say obliviate. Her lips. Sirius? Emmeline asks him. She taps him on his shoulder. This, the last day he remembers seeing her. What are you doing? He is in her dormitory, facing the door. He blinks, is angry for some unplaceable reason. Charlotte left, she says. Subconsciously, I know. He walks out of their dormitory and never returns to the Ravenclaw common room. Regulus tries to talk to him, and he is revolted. He doesn't know when it happened or why it happened, but it has. He can barely look his brother in the eye. Sirius tries to find his own tears. They are gone, obliviated with the memory of their last day. Remus knows more than he'll say, but hadn't it always been that way? James doesn't talk about it. Peter brings her up a lot, too much. Graduation. Lily is surprised. She is valedictorian. That had never been her goal. Charlotte leaving made her unquestionable. Sirius is upset again. He would love to hear Charlotte address their graduating class. She would be so terrible at it. Mary is crying. Sirius walks up to her, and she tries to stop. Charlotte has not made an appearance at graduation. Where's Charlotte? He asks. Mary's face is in pain. Home. She's sick, she lies. Brown eyes, bad lies. Sirius hugs her, misses Charlotte, and then walks away. Summer. It is hot, and he is living in London. He doesn't ever have to face his family anymore, but he has to face something far worse. The war is real. Sirius seldom speaks of Charlotte, but he does keep saying her name. Every few days or so. Charlotte. He won't let himself forget that, too. Whispered and alone. Never in front of Marlene. He has a funny feeling that she wouldn't like that. Have you seen the bloody thing spinning around in his head? No wonder he's mad. James makes Sirius laugh again, eye flicking around his skull in imitation of their new leader. Sirius laughed, his voice echoing far longer than the others. He thought, perhaps, he was laughing too long. It was hard not to take full advantage of the opportunity. His cigarettes disappear faster and faster into his lungs. He buys them for Peter to have someone to smoke with. Sirius needs to cling on to something from Hogwarts, so he adds Marlene to that list. And sometimes Mary. Sometimes Remus. Mary. She stays, and he can't forget Charlotte. Marlene doesn't care anymore and asks him about her. Whatever happened to Charlotte? He tries to keep venom out of his eyes when her name crosses Marlene's lips. He has to remind himself it's not her fault. I don't care, is his response. I don't want to care, is what he really thinks. Mary cares. She always cares. When Remus is gone, Sirius goes to Mary. She's careful and abiding and angelic in everything that Sirius is not. And she knows about Charlotte, and she refuses to tell him about her. Still, he knows Charlotte is on her mind, and there's a drunken evening when Mary admits she's alive. And she's not her? Is she? This only makes Mary cry, so Sirius kisses her, and they dump the night into an empty bottle of vodka. Autumn. Shit. Sirius wakes up with a start from his sleep. The sheets peel off slowly from his sweat-soaked back. He's on fire, even on his own. No one will stay over with him anymore. Not Marlene, not Remus, not Mary. He just keeps waking up. He dreams about his brother a lot. He dreams about Death Eaters knocking on his door. He dreams of being someone else, of having a different life, of living in another time. This dream, this night, it's her laughter on the Quidditch pitch. He dreams of blood that is running down her side. Charlotte is in his arms, and her body is full and real and terrifying. It isn't like that of a cut. It is gushing, a waterfall of red being left in their wake. It is his hand shaking beneath her body, but it is not her weight. It is more likely the understanding that she is going to die, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. That is the end of Strangest Thing. Catherine, I have so many questions.
Okay.
So, first of all, what drove you to want to write this kind of other perspective one-shot from Sirius that takes place kind of after the end of Rosar? Or Strangest Things, excuse me. I know
other things on the mind. But I think basically, I mean, the whole of Stranger Things is from Charlotte's point of view. So I kind of felt like it was unfair that we don't get to hear how Sirius really feels about any of it, because all of it is Charlotte's speculation about what he feels about her and what he thinks and, you know, all that. So I just felt like I needed to hear what he thought. And then also, oh, sorry, I dropped something. Also, I just love Sirius, so I wanted to write more with him.
I love your characterization of Sirius, both in this and in Stranger Things, because it's like, yes, he's kind of dark, broody, Gryffindor boy, rebellious, whatever, but you give him so much depth, and I think this one shot really helped strengthen that. If I were to go back and read Stranger Things again with this kind of one shot in mind, it would really add even more to him, since all we're seeing is from Charlotte's point of view. So well done. Another question I have is, so in this, you talk about how he leans quite heavily on not just the boys, you know, the Marauders, but also Mary and Marlene. How did you choose him to lean on those two, of the two women as well?
So I guess just regarding Charlotte, Sirius feels kind of betrayed by Remus and James. From, you know, they had sort of at the end helped Charlotte with what she goes through at the end, and they didn't tell him about it, and they, you know, as far as I'm concerned, haven't really told him about everything. So he, you know, of course they're still very close and everything, but I think he just feels like he can't really talk about Charlotte with them because he's still holding that in. And that's like a big part of my series as well, is he's holding it all very close to the chest. But yeah, especially Mary, like he wants to know what happens to Charlotte. Mary knows, and he knows she's the other one who's really missing Charlotte. Yeah.
Very nice. What was the hardest part of writing this one shot?
So like technically, just writing it in present tense, because before this, I hadn't really done anything in present tense, and it was so hard to go through it all and just be like, make sure you're not saying was, say is, and those sorts of things. And then just emotionally, it was hard to relive like how Sirius would actually be reacting in real time to everything.
So going off of that answer then, was there a reason why you wanted to write this in present tense versus past tense or other options?
Yeah, I feel like Charlotte is very, or was very reflective and analytical with everything that has happened in the day. And like, so for her, things happen and she reflects on them, processes it, and moves forward. And then for Sirius, he's more, it's happening, like for him, everything is like happening all the time and in the moment. So I just felt like it captures his voice better in the first person, or not first person, present tense. Yeah.
That's so cool. I never really even thought about it like that. But thinking back now to when I was reading through Stranger Things, everything that is from Charlotte is all past tense. But that's so cool. I don't now think about that for my own writing. That'll eventually maybe post more of. Do you think you'll do any other one shots within this universe from other characters' point of views, or do you think this will be the only one?
I would really like to. I already have written a little bit more that kind of follows the timeline of how this is structured. So like the spring graduation, like that kind of thing. So I don't know if it'll just be in like a series under the same title or other one shots set aside. We'll see. I don't know.
Ooh, I'm so excited because I love everything you write. And this universe was really, like, this one shot is really, really cool because it kind of is a reflection on how Sirius is dealing with things we aren't seeing after Stranger Things ended. But then we can still tie things back in to that novel, which is really, really cool. And for me, at least, it was one of the first kind of mystery type ones that I really fell in love with on the archives. Because you do it so well.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Even this one shot has that, it keeps that same air of not necessarily mystery, but suspense and concern and all of those things that are integral to Sirius as a character, especially in this, and especially with his relationship with Charlotte and how chaotic that ending was for her in the novel.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's so good.
Yeah, I like writing Sirius in this universe.
What are you, I guess, to go a little bit away from the story then, so what are you currently working on, hoping to be posting in more near future upcoming times on the archives?
So I really should work on For Gold, which is my like next gen Quidditch thing. But I kind of started another story, which is also Marauders era, which I can't help, I guess. I'm like, it's going to be, I guess, my fourth on the archives. And I'm like, how many different ways can I tell this story? Like, how many different plots can I keep track of? So, but I'm really, really excited about it. I really like writing it. So,
well, yeah. A lot of people would share the same sentiment as me, as you don't have a lot of things posted, but what you do post is such high quality that it's great.
Thank you.
Everything is great. And I want you to post more things, so I have more things.
I don't know why my brain can't get out of like novel structure. Like, I just want to stop writing. So this was actually a great break from that because I started this new thing and it's like also aiming to be, pretty long. And For Gold was supposed to be short, but now it's not so short. So I don't know.
I have the opposite problem of I have 50 million one shots on my page and like one incomplete novel.
I just hate endings. I hate endings, so I don't want to end things.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm bad at that. Conclusions, endings, any sort of finality is not good with me.
Well, you write good endings.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, don't be afraid of it. You do good. You do well. Oh man, I can
do good.
Well, all right. I think we'll conclude there. I don't think anyone has any questions in chat. So thank you so much for joining me this evening or afternoon for me. Folks, we will see you next month for October Fic Night. Hopefully someone submits some spooky stories. But until then, I've been Mage Maddie, your host, and thank you, Catherine, for joining me live for this.
Thank you for your lovely reading. It was great.
You're welcome. All right, and we will see you all next time.